The storm above Black Hollow Dam did not behave like a normal storm. It didn't move. It simply stayed. For 11 days, the sky over the mountain valley in Alaska remained permanently black, as if someone had painted over the sun and forgotten to let it dry. Thunder didn't echo. It rolled, constantly, like something heavy shifting above the clouds. Ethan Cole was assigned the night shift because nobody else wanted it. The dam was too old, too large, and too quiet in the wrong places. At exactly 3:13 a.m. every night, the emergency siren would activate for 13 seconds. Engineers blamed electrical faults, but Ethan had already checked the system 3 times. Nothing was wrong, except everything was wrong. That night, as Ethan walked into the control building, he noticed something new. Water pressure was rising. Without inflow, that was impossible. He checked the reservoir feed, normal. He checked the spillways, closed. Still, the pressure increased. Then came the knocking, not on the door, inside the wall. Knock, 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 knock. Ethan froze. He turned off the monitors. Silence returned. Then the radio activated by itself. Static first, then a voice. "Open the lower gate." Ethan leaned closer. "Identify yourself." The reply came instantly. "Open it! We are already inside." The monitors flickered violently. For a second, Ethan saw something on screen. Not water. Faces, pressed beneath the reservoir surface, all looking upward, at him. At 3:13 a.m., every alarm in the dam went off at once. The floodgate system unlocked itself. Ethan ran. But the deeper he went into the maintenance tunnels, the colder the air became, until he reached Tunnel C and saw her. A woman standing in the water, hair dripping, eyes completely black. She whispered, "You kept us under too long?" Then the lights died, and something began running through the tunnels toward him, barefoot, screaming without sound. Greywater Dam was built over an abandoned mining settlement. That fact was erased from official records, but the walls remembered. Filmmaker Rachel Vane entered the lower tunnels with 2 crew members to document the sealed engineering zone. At first, everything seemed normal. Old pipes, rust-called tunnels. Then the sound began. Tap, 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 from inside the concrete. One of the crew laughed nervously. Probably thermal expansion. Then the entire wall moved, not cracked, moved. Like something underneath shifted its position, the tapping turned into pounding. Bong, bong, bong. A human hand pushed through the concrete, then another. Then a face, screaming silently. Rachel stumbled back. "Turn off the camera!" But the cameraman was already gone. Only the camera remained, still rolling, showing something behind Rachel, dozens of faces inside the wall. All pushing outward, all awake. The tunnels were not empty. They were crowded. Marcus Reed dove into Mercer Lake, expecting a simple salvage job. A church bell, easy money. Instead, he found a city that refused to die. Beneath 300 feet of dark water lay Raven Hollow. The town flooded in 1952. At first, it looked frozen in time. Cars parked, houses intact. Streetlights still standing. Then he saw movement, figures walking in the streets, underwater. Impossible. Then one turned toward him, its mouth opened. No bubbles came out, only black silt. Then all of them turned at once, hundreds of drowned people staring upward. Marcus tried to rise, but something grabbed his leg. Children, dozens of them. Their fingers fused together like roots. The deeper he looked, the worse it became. The town wasn't dead. It was awake, and it was rising slowly toward the surface. Officer Daniel Hayes was told not to enter the lower chambers of Pine Ridge Dam. He went anyway. The siren room was filled with old speakers bolted into concrete. None powered. Yet music played. A woman singing soft, beautiful, wrong. A recording played on loop. Day 61. We opened the reservoir connection. Daniel turned around. The door was gone. Behind him stood a pool of water where dry floor should have been, and from it, a voice whispered, "Daniel, come home." The water rose without spilling. It walked upward, forming shapes, human shapes. Then hands grabbed his ankles and pulled. Luis Masreno saw it during night patrol, a figure on the cliff above Hollow Creek Dam, too tall, too thin watching, then crawling downward, not walking, crawling like something with broken joints, its body stretched unnaturally across rock and concrete when it reached the dam. It smiled, and its mouth split open vertically. Inside were faces, all screaming at once. The dam lights failed instantly, and something massive jumped into the reservoir below. The water stopped moving for 3 seconds. Then it started boiling. No one was supposed to enter red level. Henry Bell entered anyway. He remembered what happened in 1989. He remembered what came out of the water. Now it was back. The tunnel walls pulsed like veins. Something breathed behind sealed doors. Maya Carter recorded everything. The final door opened itself, and black water poured out like a living wall. Inside it, a thing too large for the tunnel, chains embedded in its body, eyes missing, but it still saw them, and it was hungry. When Lake Carver dried, a buried village resurfaced. Emily Ross was sent to document it. But the moment she entered the school, she heard children laughing. Inside empty rooms, footprints led to the basement, where hospital beds were still warm. Then the water in nearby pipes started flowing backward, upward, and something began crawling out of the reservoir mud, covered in drowned history. Aaron Pike discovered the logs. Day 41. The reservoir is looking back. He thought it was metaphor, until the water outside the control room formed a face. Massive, human, smiling. Then the glass cracked, and something pressed its hand through. "Do not open Gate 7. That was all the recording said before screams took over. Jenna Price went to investigate. She found Gate 7 already open, and people walking out of the reservoir. Except they weren't people anymore. Just shapes wearing human skin. Victor Lang found a city beneath Widow Lake, fully lit, alive, and watching. When the submersible stopped moving, something underneath opened its eye, and the entire city began rising. Each remaining story follows the same truth. Dams are not structures, they are seals. Seals holding something beneath water. Something that learns. Something that wakes when pressure rises. Something that remembers every body ever buried under it. And when all 9 dams across the world began failing at the same time, the water stopped behaving like water. It began behaving like something alive, something ancient, something that had been waiting beneath humanity's infrastructure for centuries. And in the final transmission received from Black Hollow Dam, the message was simple. We were never holding back water. We were holding it down. After all 19 incidents, every major dam worldwide was shut down, but satellite images showed something impossible. Rivers no longer flowed. They moved, as if guided, as if searching. And somewhere deep beneath the Earth's reservoirs, something enormous turned over in its sleep, waiting for the pressure to build again.